evening, and thank you so much for tuning in to Delta Television, the People's Pride. I am Blessing Usiagbada, and here is the main news. President Bola Tinubu will tomorrow depart Abuja for Rome, the capital of Italy, at the invitation of Pope Leo XIV to attend a solemn mass marking the beginning of his pontificate as the 267th Bishop of Rome and the new leader of the Roman Catholic Church. Pope Leo XIV, formerly Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, will be formally installed on Sunday, May 18 at St. Peter's Square in the Vatican. The conclave of cardinals elected him 27 days after the death of his predecessor, Pope Francis. President Tinubu's entourage includes the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, the Catholic Archbishop of the Owerri Diocese, and President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, Archbishop Lucius Ogoji, Archbishop Ignatius Kaigama of Abuja, and Archbishop Alfred Martins of Lagos. The President is expected to return to Abuja on Tuesday, May 20. President Bola Tinubu has asked the Nigerian Armed Forces to intensify efforts to tackle the country's multifaceted security challenges as the stability of democracy, regional peace, and economic growth is closely tied to national security. President Tinubu made the call at the induction ceremony of the two newly acquired helicopters for the Nigerian Air Force, held as part of events marking its 61st anniversary. Represented by the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, the President urged the military to be prepared to address security concerns beyond Nigeria's borders through participation in peacekeeping missions. He charged the Air Force to maintain professionalism in operating and maintaining the aircraft. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, in his speech, described the acquisition of the helicopters as a significant milestone in the modernization efforts of the Air Force. Highlighting the aircraft's capabilities, Air Marshal Abubakar said the helicopters were suitable for both military and civil operations, adding that 8 pilots and 18 engineers had already been trained for the new platforms, with additional personnel currently undergoing training abroad. He disclosed that between last year and the present time, the Air Force had taken delivery of 9 new aircraft, with 49 more expected over the next 2 years, including attack helicopters and airlift platforms. The Air Chief listed breakthroughs in local research and development by the Air Force to include retrofitting of rockets and innovations in aircraft maintenance aimed at promoting self-reliance in defense technology. The federal government has called on all lessors and leasing companies operating in Nigeria's equipment leasing sector to undertake the compulsory registration of lease agreement, warning that failure to comply may attract sanctions. In a statement by the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of the Equipment Leasing Regulatory Agency, Donald Wokoma, in Abuja, explained that the directive aligns with the provisions of the Equipment Leasing Act 2015. It emphasized that registering lease agreements was a crucial regulatory requirement that ensures legal recognition and protection of leases. According to the statement, the registration process enhances access to online services, promotes industry compliance, attracts foreign investment, and supports the development of a transparent and efficient leasing environment. It commended companies that had already completed their registration and obtained annual operational licenses via the ELRA portal, calling their compliance a boost to best practices and integrity within the leasing industry. The agency noted that the ELRA portal, www.elra.gov.ng, now serves as a central platform for monitoring leasing activities, ensuring compliance with industry standards, and facilitating improved communication across the sector. It announced that the agency had approved a waiver on late registration fee for lease agreement covering the first and second quarters of 2025. The agency assured stakeholders of ELRA's continued support and encouraged them to contact the agency for assistance via email at info@elra.gov.ng or telephone at +234 705 032 4595. The Minister of Education, Dr. Olatunji Alausa, has appealed to the National Assembly to stop passing bills that seek to establish new tertiary institutions and instead prioritize funding for the effective operation of existing ones. The Minister's appeal is contained in a memorandum he submitted at a public hearing organized by the House of Representatives Committee on Federal Polytechnics and Higher Technical Education in Abuja. The hearing focused on 3 bills concerning federal polytechnics and higher technical education. Dr. Alausa in his submission advised against the creation of new federal institutions given current resource constraints, adding that limited government resources should be concentrated on strengthening existing institutions to improve quality and service delivery rather than establishing new schools. Regarding the proposed amendment to the Federal Polytechnics Act, the minister raised no objections except to the provisions seeking to include representatives of the National Board for Technical Education, NBTE, and the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria MAN on the Governing Council of Polytechnics. One of the bills proposes the establishment of the Federal College for Entrepreneurship and Skills Acquisition in Hawul Local Government Area, Borno State. The Delta State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission, the SOPADEC, has officially launched its portal for the 2024-2025 Students Bursary Scheme. The portal, which opened on the 8th of this month, will remain active until the 29th to enable eligible indigent students from oil-producing communities in the state to apply. The scheme aims to support full-time undergraduates from Ijaw, Urhobo, Isoko, Ishekiri, Ika, and Ndokwa nationalities who are in 200 level and above in Nigerian universities or polytechnics. Speaking at the launch, the Executive Director of Social Services in the SOPADEC, Chief Favor Izokomo, highlighted the growing financial challenges facing students and their families amid Nigerians' economic difficulties. He said the board, under the leadership of the chairman, Olorogo John Nani, and the managing director and chief executive officer, Chief Festus Ochonogo, unanimously approved the bursary initiative to ease the burden on the student community. The national president of Students of Urhobo ethnic nationality, Comrade Onagwa Freedom, alongside its counterparts from other ethnic nationalities, expressed gratitude to the Commission and the state government for empowering students through the initiative and pledged their support. To apply for the bursary, students must create an account on the SOPADEC bursary portal, www.thesopadecbursary.com.ng, fill in their personal, institutional, and bank details, upload the required document, and carefully review all entries before submitting their applications. The Managing Director of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, Mr. Akintunde Sawyer, has hinted that the student loan program might be expanded to private tertiary institutions in Nigeria in the next 3 years. Mr. Sawyer, who dropped the hint at a strategic engagement and sensitization campaign with heads of institutions and other stakeholders in Enugu State, emphasized the need to first address the pressing demands of students in public universities and colleges, stressing that the long-term goal was to ensure all Nigerian students, regardless of institution type, had access to financial support for their education. He said the only challenges the fund had were the usual ones, which included misunderstanding, misinformation, people not being sure of it, or feeling that it was designed not to work for them, among others. The Special Advisor on Education Innovation to the Enugu State Governor, Dr. Chinyere Onyesi, in her remarks emphasized the importance of the loan, citing the vast and attention-demanding nature of the education sector. The Ministry of Interior has announced the launch of a new online citizenship and business management platform. In a statement by the ministry's permanent secretary, Magdalene Ajani, in Abuja, said the new digital platform was designed to streamline the application and processing of citizenship and business-related services, ensuring faster turnaround time and improved user experience. The platform was aimed at managing citizenship applications, processing business permits, and administering regulations related to businesses and foreign workers. The statement further explained that the initiative was part of the ministry's ongoing reforms aimed at promoting transparency, enhancing operational efficiency, thereby significantly improving service delivery to the public. You're watching Delta TV Main News. Still to come, political leaders charged to always embark on people-oriented projects. Details of the story and many more will come after the short break. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. You're tuned to Delta TV Main News. The wife of the state's governor and founder, Yomata Charity Foundation, Dikines Tobore Oborewore, has charged political leaders to always embark on people-oriented projects in order to spread the dividends of democracy to the citizenry. Dikines Oborewore gave the charge at the commissioning of the Isioluku Modern Market in Anyocha North local government area, built by the chairman. Florence Oyibodoro completes the report.
Oborewori, in company of the wife of the deputy governor, Ezine Catherine Onyeme, and the team of the Yomata Charity Foundation, commended the council chairman for the laudable projects, describing him as a grassroots leader who knew the needs of the people. The governor's wife expressed optimism that political leaders in the state who believed in the moral agenda of the Governor Sheriff Oborewori administration were making meaningful developments, impacting lives even at the grassroots. She said the ultra-modern market would boost economic activities in the area and urged the traders to own the facility and uphold maintenance culture.
Thank you for responding to the need of the people. You have touched the hearts of the people. This will strengthen the good relationship you have with them. The thought of building this market means you are interested in the well-being of your constituents.
The council chairman, Honorable Emmanuel Bazin, said the idea of transforming the old Isioluku Afo market to an ultra-modern market was in fulfillment of his electionary campaign. The local government board said the market, consisting of 101 lock-up shops, 575 open stores, an abattoir for 44 meat sellers, a mini bank, a grinding station, 16 toilet facilities, a warehouse, administrative block, among others, was completed within 6 months.
After 6 months of determination, reconstruction, redesigning, and remodeling, we are all here gathered to attest to its completion and inauguration. Another vision fruit of rebuilding Anyocha North for more gains with renewed hope.
The former minority leader in the House of Representatives, Honorable Ndudi Elumelu, highlighted the economic benefits of the facility.
What he has done is to now engage the women in useful trading business. And you know, for any man, what he hopes for is that when he goes to farm and come back, there should be a woman at home to take care of the kitchen. And when a woman is given such shop to trade, there usually profit that comes out of it. And that profit is now ploughed into home and domestic production.
Dikines Oborewori also commissioned a town hall at the Onechugbo community, rehabilitated by the council chairman. Florence Oyibodoro reporting.
The Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON, has commended the Registrar of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, for accepting responsibility for technical and human errors in the just concluded Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, and for finding solutions to the problem. BON, in a statement signed by its Executive Secretary, Dr. Yemisi Gbamboshe, said the open admission of errors by Professor Oloyede and he's taking responsibility for the problem as a leader was a demonstration of exemplary courage that symbolized accountability and integrity. The statement, while applauding Professor Oloyede for the act of transparency and truthfulness, said the JAMB registrar and his team also deserved accolades for being proactive in proffering measures to circumvent the mishap. It recognized the collaborative efforts between JAMB and the West African Examinations Council (WAEC) in navigating the challenge to desirable conclusion and sued for the sustenance of such synergy. Bond called on citizens in positions of authority, power, and influence to cultivate the spirit of truthfulness and accountability that would project a good image of the country at all times. Meanwhile, spokesperson for the Joint Nations and Matriculation Board, JAMB, Mr. Fabian Benjamin, has said the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) results glitch has nothing to do with ethnicity. He made the assertion while dismissing claims that the glitch that led to a mass failure in the 2025 UTME was targeted at candidates from the Southeast region. Mr. Benjamin also faulted claims that the issue occurred because of incompetence on the part of the JAMB registrar, Professor Ishaq Oleyede, stressing that the JAMB registrar was more than competent and involved himself in everything going on in the board. The World Health Organization, WHO, has declared a polio outbreak in Papua New Guinea and called for an immediate vaccination campaign. Samples of the highly infectious virus were found in 2 healthy children during a routine screening in Leer, a coastal city in the country's northeast. Less than half of the country's population were immunized against the potentially deadly disease, which was close to being wiped out but had recently resurfaced in some parts of the world. And more news from around the world. Ethiopia's main opposition party has condemned a ban on its activities, saying it posed a serious threat to the 2022 peace deal that ended 2 years of conflict in the northern Tigray region. The Tigray People's Liberation Front has called for the African Union to mediate with the federal government after the electoral agency revoked its legal status as a party. The party, which governs Tigray and dominated the entire country for many years, was on Wednesday banned for failing to hold a general assembly. The decision follows months of political tensions in Tigray and comes ahead of the nationwide elections that were due to take place by June next year at the latest. Over 50 people have been killed in a reported Israeli offensive in northern Gaza. Palestinians in the north say Israel launched a large-scale ground, air, and sea assault in the early hours of today, adding that the Israeli military was yet to comment. According to local residents, the assault began with smoke bomb barrages, followed by intense artillery shelling from nearby Israeli positions. This was the most extensive ground assault on northern Gaza since Israel resumed its offensive in early March. Meanwhile, the United States President, Mr. Donald Trump, said a lot of people were starving in Gaza and the U.S. would ensure that the situation was taken care of without giving details. Gaza had been under an Israeli blockade of all food, medicine, and other supplies for 10 weeks. The Hamas-run Civil Defense Agency says more than 120 people were killed in Gaza by Israeli airstrikes yesterday. Indirect talks on a ceasefire and a hostage release deal were ongoing between Israel and Hamas in Qatar, but so far there had been no sign of a breakthrough. In business, the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has named Benue, Ekiti, and Kebbi as states with the highest year-on-year food inflation rate in Nigeria. The NBS stated this in its April Consumer Price Index released yesterday. The report showed that Benue has the highest year-on-year rise in food inflation rate with 51.76%, followed by Ekiti with 34.05%, and then Kebbi with 33.82%. What this means is that food prices rose the highest in Benue, Ekiti, and Kebbi states. In contrast, Ebonyi with 7.19%, Adamawa with 9.52%, and Ogun with 9.91% recorded the slowest rise in food inflation on a year-on-year basis. Economic analysts say the food inflation rise in Benue may not be unconnected to the surge in attacks in the state in the past 2 months, with scores dead and many displaced. On the flip side, Ebonyi, Kano, and Ogun State recorded a decline in food inflation on a month-on-month basis. The chairman of BUA Group, Mr. Abdul Samad Rabiu, has issued stern warnings to hoarders to expect further crash in prices of rice and other food items in the country. Speaking to newsmen after meeting with President Bola Tinubu, Mr. Rabiu noted that the drop in prices of food items over the past year was due to BUA Foods' resolve to key into the president's waivers policy on importing food, which allowed the company to import a lot of wheat, maize, and rice. He lauded President Tinubu for granting waiver on importing food items, stressing that his foresight helped slash food prices in the country. The billionaire business mogul slammed those hoarding rice paddy, warning them that it would not be business as usual. He pointed out that moves by Nigerian rice companies to hoard rice paddy led to a staggering increase in the price of rice in the country. Mr. Rabiu noted that President Bola Tinubu's waiver policy on imported goods was Nigeria's saving grace, as it poses more problems for rice hoarders. He disclosed that the Rice Millers Association has come together to address the issue of hoarding by some companies, adding that the association would not allow any of its members to hoard rice. Still in business, the Naira has recorded its first appreciation this week against the dollar at the parallel foreign exchange market. This comes after the Naira had recorded days of stability against the dollar at the official market. Abiru, the change operator in Wuse Zone 4, Abuja, Abubakar Al-Hassan, told newsmen that the Naira strengthened to 1,625 Naira per dollar yesterday from 1,635 Naira exchange on Wednesday. This means that the Naira appreciated by 10 Naira against the dollar on a day-to-day basis. Meanwhile, at the official markets, the currency depreciated slightly by 2.63 Naira to 1,599.33 Naira per dollar yesterday from 1,596.70 Naira traded the previous day. The mixed sentiment at both forex markets come at a time Nigeria's inflation rate in April dropped to 23.7%. Nigeria Women Football League has confirmed a total prize package of 24.5 million naira for the ongoing 2025 NWFL Premiership Super 6 playoffs. According to the breakdown, the eventual champions will pocket 10 million naira, maintaining the standard of the past two editions. The runners-up will earn 6 million naira, while the third-place team gets 4 million naira, both representing a 1 million naira increase from last season, while offering increased financial incentives for all 6 participating clubs. The bottom 3 teams will receive 1.5 million naira, up from 500 naira last season. NWFL chairperson Nkechi Obi stressed the revised price structure as a critical part of the league's ongoing effort to professionalize women's football in Nigeria. The prize money comes in addition to the prestigious opportunity for the champions to earn Nigeria's sole tickets to the WAFU regional qualifiers for Africa's top club competition, CAF Women's Champions League, and potentially qualify for the inaugural FIFA Women's Club World Championship next year, should they reach the final. And now a thought for the day. There is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. Just before we go, let's take a look at some of our major stories. President Bola Tinubu will tomorrow depart Abuja for Rome, the capital of Italy, at the invitation of Pope Leo XIV to attend a solemn mass marking the beginning of his pontificate as the 267th Bishop of Rome and the new leader of the Roman Catholic Church. Pope Leo XIV, formerly Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, will be formally installed on Sunday, May 18 at St. Peter's Square in the Vatican. The state government has promised to revive the state-owned media outfits. The Commissioner for Information Works and Rural Roads, Mr. Charles Onyago, made the pledge when he represented the state governor, the Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewore, at the Made in Delta Broadcast Media Conference and in Asaba. The wife of the state governor and founder, Yomata Charity Foundation, Dickiness Dobore Oborewore, has charged political leaders to always embark on people-oriented projects in order to spread the dividends of democracy to the citizenry. Dickiness Oborewore gave the charge at the commissioning of the Isioluku Modern Market in Anyocha North Local Government area built by the chairman. And abroad, the World Health Organization, WHO, has declared a polio outbreak in Papua New Guinea and called for immediate vaccination campaign. Samples of the highly infectious virus were found in 2 healthy children during a routine screening in Lear, a coastal city in the country's northeast. And that ends Delta TV Main News. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am a Blessing Usiagwada. Have a restful night and goodbye for now.
Alpha Delta people, in less than 22 months, Governor Oborewore don show say im promise not be plenty talk with the full basket, not be cho with a more agenda, meaningful development, opportunity for all, realistic reforms, and enhanced peace and security. Progress don burst out everywhere. Im don upgrade over 500 roads, initiate over 300 new ones, and build plenty bridges where they connect our communities.